So recently I went back and watched the 60th specials of Doctor Who again for the first time since they aired, and with season 2 about to hit our screens, I thought I'd jump straight back into season 1 again to refresh my brain. Just a heads up, I will not be covering the Church on Ruby Road just yet. I'll post that around Christmas time. Eventually I will release all of my reviews to every single gatwa episode in one video, and I'll stick it in there, so just don't stress it too much. On to the Devil's Chord. I'm going to do a quick run through of the episode and then I'll give you my thoughts afterwards. We open in 1925 where a piano teacher is teaching his pupil, a guy called Henry, how to play hot cross buns on the instrument. He then plays the note known as the Devil's Chord. Then out pops Maestro from the piano. Maestro then reveals that Henry's last name is Arbinger, which makes him a harbinger. For a bit of lore, gods send harbingers to warn us of their coming, and Maestro is the god of music. Maestro kills the piano teacher with music notes and starts playing the theme song, which blends into the opening titles. We're then with the Doctor and Ruby in the TARDIS, and Ruby requests to go and see the Beatles at Abbey Road. They come out in their fresh outfits, which, by the way, 10 out of 10 for both of them. They do the walk, and then they sneak into the building in which the Beatles are recording. They sneak into the recording booth, however, something is wrong. The Beatles are singing terribly, and about their dogs called Fred. They go and see Cilla Black, who is also singing terribly. By the way, I don't remember this on my first time round. I don't know if it was like added later or if I'm just stupid, but yeah. They go and see a choir who are also singing terribly. The pair are in the canteen and realise that there is no music whatsoever. No one is tapping their feet, whistling or humming, nothing. Oh look, it's Susan Twist again. Ruby and the Doctor talk to Paul McCartney and John Lennon where they try and reawaken the personal connection to music, but then they're shut down. Then Maestro starts to appear in reflections like spoons and stuff somehow, I don't really know why. So the Doctor sends a piano to the top of the building where he then explains to Ruby about Susan, his granddaughter. Ruby then starts to play her own theme on the piano and everyone starts listening, but then boom! Maestro pops out of the piano and does the giggle, you know, the ha 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 ha. Oh god. The Doctor figures out that Maestro is part of the pantheons of God. Maestro is trying to hunt down the pair as they hide in a basement. The Doctor does some weird Sonic thing where he kills all the sound, and Maestro does a Lego because some old woman decides to play the piano somewhere else. Maestro then kills the woman, and the Doctor dwells on not being able to save the day. Ruby says that she's living proof that the world didn't end back then because she was born in 2004. So the Doctor pulls a Sarah Jane Smith on her and takes her to present day if he doesn't stop Maestro. The pair have a breakdown and Maestro appears. The god of music starts playing the piano, explaining that their dad is the toy maker, you know, remember him? Because they have the toy maker's child, they have the rights to fair play. So they reveal that for the Doctor to destroy them, he must find the right combination of keys, and that will banish Maestro forever. They go back to 1963 and the TARDIS growls again, which is another ongoing story arc from Wild Blue Yonder. The Doctor goes into a recording studio and tries to find the right combination of notes to banish Maestro, but then Ruby's taken by some musical notes. Maestro says that this creature is wrong and Ruby starts singing the Trickster's theme. Maestro then says that there's a hidden song inside of her and Carol of the Bells starts playing. If you don't know Carol of the Bells, I'll give you a quick rendition now. Carol of the bells, sweet silver bells, on me, knees and the Merry, 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 merry Christmas, merry, 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 merry Christmas. Sign me up for the Interstellar Song Contest. It also starts snowing at this point, and Maestro lets Ruby drop to the floor. The Doctor then grabs the piano that the Beatles will go on to make their biggest hits with, and him and Ruby take on Maestro in a music battle. They win and break Maestro's violin, or whatever that is. The Doctor then plays the right notes but messes up on the final step. The piano gets shoved out the door and the Doctor and Ruby get trapped in some instrument cases. But then Paul and John come round the corner and together they play the right chord to banish Maestro forever. Ruby and the Doctor are saved and Maestro says the one who waits is almost here, teasing at the season story arc. The Doctor and Ruby go back to the roof where they can hear that music is back. The Doctor warns Ruby that on all of the adventures they go on, there is always a twist at the end. The whole cast then breaks into song, which is quite catchy to be fair. There's always a twist, there's always a twist, there's always a twist at the end. The Doctor and Ruby then go back to the TARDIS using the Abbey Road crossing as a piano before entering. And roll credits. Oh yes! Oh yes! Yes! The Devil's Chord. What a good episode. It was definitely better on my second time watching it, like properly watching it for the second time. And as someone who's not personally the biggest fan of music, this episode really did have me hooked. Something that's really funny is when I watched this with my mum, she's a big Beatles fan. And when the Beatles started singing about, you know, I've got a dog, he's called Fred, That's what Beatles music genuinely sounds like to me. Also, I swear that Cilla Black was not in this in my first time watching and second time watching. You know, they show the Beatles at the start singing terribly, and then Cilla Black also singing terribly. I've got no recollection of that. I don't remember that at all. I don't remember. Susan Twist is back as well. I am super hooked to find out who she is. I mean, I already know, I've seen the series already, but my point is, if I'm a new viewer, I am hyped now. And my first time watching last year, I was hyped. I was like, okay, who is Susan Twist? Why does she keep popping up in all these places? And is she intentionally doing this? Is she unintentionally doing this? Is it real? Is it not real? Is it a dream? Are we being pranked? Is it just that they ran out of cast members and had to cast the same woman over and over again? Like Russell said, keep your eyes peeled, that's your nose. There were so many theories on the internet about who Susan was that I was just genuinely like stuck I couldn't make my mind up because there were so many ideas online. Is Susan this? Is Susan that? Is it Susan Foreman? No, it's not. But we need to bring her back, please. In the least morbid way, we need to get Susan Foreman back in Doctor Who before she dies. Sorry, I know that's really sinister. I don't mean it to sound like that, but we need her back. Ruby playing the piano was also a good thing that I didn't really fully take in the first time I watched it. Ruby said that she made this song, which is the song she was playing for her friend, I think it was Trudy was her name, after a girl broke her heart. And there was rumour online that Trudy's heart was actually broken by Ruby. And Ruby wrote this song because she felt guilty about breaking Trudy's heart. Is that true? I mean, it wasn't relevant to the story. It could very well be true, but it is just a fun theory at this point. A little fun fact that most of you might not... Well, I say most of you, that's a bit condescending, but some of you might not know that Murray Gold makes a lot of the music for Doctor Who. In fact, he made all the music from 2005 all the way up until 2017, and then he came back in 2023 and has made the music ever since. And each companion has their own theme song. So, for example, Rose's was... Dun, dun, dun. It's not doing me any good. Martha's was... What am I doing? Donna's! That's easy to remember. My point is, Ruby Sunday's theme goes like this. Dun, 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 dun. And that was the song that Ruby was playing on the piano. How cool is that? It's a little Easter egg for some of you that might not know. Yeah, Ruby was playing her own theme from the TV show on the piano in the TV show, which I thought was quite a cool addition. I quite liked it. An issue with me is I find Doctor Who hard to replicate in real life how I'd really feel if these things were happening. For example, on first glance, I don't think Maestro is that threatening. I cannot get in my head. Like, for example, the Weeping Angels look terrifying. Jinx Monsoon doesn't, but it's all about actions, and I think Maestro finally won my heart over in being terrifying when they killed the old woman. The bit that was most sinister for me is not just the fact that they killed an old woman, it's the fact that they went to go kill an old woman and then went to shut the curtains. I don't know why that made me feel weirder about it. I actually felt more scared that they went to close the curtains before killing and then looked at us, and I think, did they wink or smile or something? I can't remember. That was, yeah, really off-putting. Really off-putting. The Doctor took Ruby to the future in this episode, which is something else I really liked. For those of you that don't get the reference, this actually happened in Pyramids of Mars, which, if you haven't seen the series yet, I don't want to spoil it for you, but... So this was sort of an early hint by Russell, I reckon. I reckon he did it on purpose to try and make us not think it was going to happen. But yeah, Pyramids of Mars, Sarah Jane goes, look, Doctor, the world didn't end back then because I was born after now. And the Doctor takes Sarah Jane to the future where she goes, oh no, the world's going to end if you don't save us, Doctor, save us. And the same thing happened this episode. Ruby goes, look, I know the world didn't end in the 50s or 60s, whenever it was, because I'm alive now and I was born in 2004. And yeah, they go to the future, see... everybody's dead. Everyone is dead. I like that. That was good addition. I liked it. Cheeky little Russell knows what's going on in here. The TARDIS growling as well was quite cool. This has been happening sort of on and off since Wild Blue Yonder. I think it actually has only happened in Wild Blue Yonder and this episode. But it's been growling a lot recently, and it makes you think, what's this then? Another ongoing story arc. So far, this series, we've got the Master might be coming back because the tooth got picked up in the giggle. Who is Mrs. Flood? Who is Susan Twist? Why does it snow? Who is Ruby's mum? And the TARDIS growling. 6 ongoing story arcs in this whole series, and that's why I love it. I love an ongoing story arc, and it looks like there's more coming in season 2, so I'm excited for that as well. Okay, let's talk about this. Ruby has a hidden song inside of her. It's definitely the Trickster's theme. It is. I'm not gonna do it. There's a lot of singing from me in this episode. I get it's a music themed episode, but let's just cut it there. But Ruby is levitated in the air by Maestro, and Maestro goes, "This creature is wrong. There is a hidden song inside of her." And before Maestro gets Ruby to play Carol of the Bells, Ruby starts singing the Trickster's theme. It might be Russell trying to throw us off. I think there's something big coming with the Trickster, and I would love that so much, as he is one of my favourite villains in the whole of the Whoniverse. Might even be my favourite villain. Growing up, I loved the Trickster. I love the Trickster so much, and if we can get the Trickster back, especially in actual Doctor Who, it'd be class. It would be class. Also, Maestro saying this creature is wrong gets me very excited for what's going to happen in the finale. Why is this creature wrong? Even though if you've already seen the finale like I have, doesn't get explained at all. So I'm still in hope. I'm one of these people who likes to hold on to any little bit of hope they get. I'm still in hope that we have something to do with Ruby in season 2 still. I don't think her story's over yet. I think there's something up with her dad, and that's who we should be worried about. But we don't know, and the chances are it probably won't happen. But I just think there's so many unanswered things from season 1 that it doesn't make sense to me how that was just allowed to happen. Anyway, sidetracking, the music battle at the end, I thought it was very cool and unique. It's something that we probably won't ever see in Doctor Who again, and something that, if I'm pretty sure, I don't think we've seen in Doctor Who before, you know, using music as a power and as a weapon to kill. I liked it. I did like it. I thought it was very, like I say, very unique. Oh, I just whacked something. But I think it was very unique. I think it was also fun. There was a lot of fun involved. It wasn't like a gun battle. This is why I don't like action films. Guns, to me, aren't entertaining. Watching someone shoot something or someone else isn't entertaining to me. I'd much rather watch, like this says, a music battle. So that was good news for me, and I'm very glad we got something along those lines. That's Doctor Who, man. It's very unique in how it does its fighting. Normally it's with words, but sometimes it's something fun, like music. Now, Maestro's death at the end, you know, the one who waits is almost here, gets me excited. Now, I think this episode was originally meant to be episode 6, but they moved it to episode 2 due to, I can only guess, Space Babies being that bad that they needed another one to air at the same time, and they picked this one. So the one who waits isn't actually almost here because it's only episode 2, and the one who waits doesn't show up until episode 7, technically 8, so I don't know. But yeah, Maestro's death I thought was very, very cool. I like how the Beatles were the one to press the notes and get Maestro, press the magic notes to get Maestro banished. I don't know how they knew to do that. I think it was just something dragging them to it. I watched this back, forgot this happened. It made me very, don't want to say emotional, I keep saying emotional. It made me feel, it made me smile, like genuinely smile. I was like, oh, they've done it. They're the ones to do it. They're the ones to stop this happening. And I like that. I really did like that. I thought that was very clever, very smart. It means the same thing. but yeah, I like that. My mum and dad, my mum especially, loves the Beatles. And I never really got into them. But after watching this episode, I thought, yeah, maybe I'll listen to some Beatles music and research what they did. Let's talk about the twist at the end. There was a big twist at the end. You know, the always a twist, always a twist. I watched this with my mum about a year ago. So I watched it once on my own and then once with my mum before my most recent rewatch. And she said that, Sam, you're overthinking it. There's nothing to do with there being a twist at the end of the series. It's because they're doing the twist dance. And I remember thinking, Mum, you're an idiot. Alright, you're actually stupid. Because obviously, Susan Twist is her name. There's normally a twist at the end of a Doctor Who series, and they're singing about there being a twist at the end of all their adventures. So, I was right, by the way. I was right, so, Mum. The actual song itself is very catchy. I quite like it. I often find myself humming it, you know, like I'll be sat there typing away and I don't think that's ever happened, but for the sake of the video, I'll just say it as. The piano tiles on Abbey Road I thought was quite a cool feature, considering it's not a zebra crossing, is it? It's just the style of the road. And obviously it does look like a piano. I can see why they've done it, and I think it was a good idea. I liked it. I didn't like it on my first time watching. I thought, oi, what have they done to my Doctor Who? Why is he dancing on Abbey Road's road? But who cares, man? I actually quite like it. Watching it back now, I really do like it. Overall, I really like this episode. I think it was an easy target due to the musical number at the end. I remember waking up on the Saturday that it aired, because I didn't watch it at midnight. I watched it in the morning when I woke up. And people on TikTok were like, I stayed up all night to watch this, and it was always a twist at the end. It's an easy target because of that, but I think the actual episode itself, plot great. Sorry, I've showed 5. Plot great, villain great, character dialogue great, character getting along, flow, I've forgotten what it's called, dynamic, character dynamic, great, ongoing story arc continuing, great. That's it, really, but that's all you really need in an episode. Oh, celebrity cameos, great. Yeah, I loved it. I really did. I think I'm going to rate it a 3.4. 3.4. So Space Babies I gave a 3, which people are kicking off at. My video at the time of recording has just gone out for Space Babies. And a lot of people saying it was rubbish, or I don't know. Someone said, I don't know whether to feel sorry or happy for you that you enjoy Space Babies. Be happy for me. A lot of people didn't enjoy that episode. I find a lot of happiness in it, so I'm a big fan of Space Babies. And it got a 3 from me, and this is going to get a 3.4. So just under 3.5. I think it's definitely the second weakest for me. Yeah, second weakest for me. I mean, maybe the finale, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah, there's all that. Hopefully I can get a boom review for you tomorrow. If not, it'll be a few days after, because I'm still at college doing loads of college work, so it's hard to bang out all the content. But yeah, for now, I've been Sam from Cybers Industries. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye bye. Oh, and like and subscribe and comment and all that, please. And on to boom.